When it comes to saving lives, rescuers go wherever they're needed, but sometimes that turns out to be dangerous. In Nashville, Tennessee, paramedic Maurice Tidwell and his partner James Pollard thought they were prepared for any emergency until April 13th, 1988.
About 2 a.m., we received a call to go to Tennessee State Prison.
We didn't think anything of it because we went out there quite a bit. We get on the prison grounds like we normally do. We go through a guard shack that's out near the highway, and he motioned for us to go through, which is normal.
We proceeded to checkpoint 1. That's the point where we go and pick up a guard to go inside the walls of the compound because we have to be escorted inside there. Normally, we have to wait to get a guard there, anywhere from 5 to 10, 15 minutes, depending on what the problem is. That particular night, there was one standing in the parking lot waiting on us. We proceeded around to the vehicle gate, which is around the side of the compound. The guard got out of the ambulance, put his weapon in a bucket, and it was raised into the tower. They don't take their weapons inside the walls with them. At that point, the ambulance goes into what they call a vehicle trap. There's 2 gates. They open one, you pull in, they shut it, and then you're in between the 2 locked gates where they do a search of the ambulance. That particular night, we came up to the vehicle gate. Both gates were open. We were flagged on through. The ambulance was not stopped in the trap. It wasn't searched. Everyone was in such a hurry, it gave you the impression that one of the guards was hurt or sick real bad. We entered in through the front door of that infirmary, which is electronically controlled. There's never a guard at that point except the one that comes in with us. Once we got to the treatment room, we walked in and there's one man, Mr. Corley, who's in the wheelchair. Beside him is the nurse that's in the infirmary.
I gave the first ambulance attendant vital signs that was unreal. He looked at me because he realized, hey, this man shouldn't be living with this kind of bogus information.
So your chest is hurting you?
Yeah. Listen up. Get up. We're going to the ambulance. We're going to act like nothing's wrong. And if you blow it, everybody's going to die. I'll kill everybody in here. Get that stretcher over here now.
The uncertainty of what the next action was going to be led everyone to be on edge.
Sit down now. Don't touch me, man. Don't touch me.
Just trying to help.
During a previous escape attempt, Corley had been shot and paralyzed when he killed a hostage.
Step over here, Bone.
When the gun's stuck to your head, you know that there's a crazy man that's holding it. You don't know if you're going to live the next minute. You don't know if you're going to see daylight.
Try to keep it cool. Just walk in the blood. All right.
Take it easy.
You take it easy.
The second inmate, Mr. Driver, said that he was going as well. And if any questions were asked of why he was going out, that we were to tell him that he was going to help load the patient.
Both prisoners were convicted murderers, serving life sentences in the maximum security prison.
We passed one guard on the way, which did not question why we had 2 inmates and the nurse going out with us, which is not standard procedures. We only transport one person at a time, and prison personnel, the only one that goes with us is the guard. We never take medical personnel with us.
Corley was someone that you feared. Corley was a murderer the 3rd time. He didn't have anything to lose, and he told me he didn't have anything to lose. And I knew he didn't have anything to lose.
I knew that we were in trouble, and there was a real danger for our lives there. but I didn't anticipate ever getting past the checkpoint.
Get in, everybody, in.
My partner was directed to get up front and drive. Myself, the nurse, and the guard were directed to get into the back of the ambulance. And the second inmate got in and sat down in the floor of the ambulance and covered himself up with the fire coat that I had in the back. We're headed back to the vehicle entrapment area. Normally we are locked down again between two gates. That night, none of that took place. They did not search the vehicle. They didn't ask for their transfer papers. They did no ID verification with the supposed patient, nor did they even look in. Had they even looked in, they would have seen that there was someone else sitting in the floor covered up under a coat. My partner started to drive off. Mr. Corley hollered at him to stop and do everything just like you always do. The guard got out of the back, went over to the tower area where the guard in the tower lowered his weapon in the bucket. When he got in, he handed it to Corley, and Corley turned around and gave it to Driver, which gave both of them the weapon.
Come on, go.
Once we got outside the trap, they had two weapons. Then the fear started setting in. I felt that they would do anything that they had to do to keep from going back.
Think about slowing down, you understand?
There was a guard out next to the shack at the highway that stepped out into the street in an attempt to stop the ambulance.
Come on, go! Right through! Captain, I couldn't stop him, man.
When we continue.